Yeah, it was a sloppy game. I thought if you're looking at both sides of the ball defensively, we were pretty strong. Um, thought Jeff Cameron was outstanding tonight. Um, Obi really grew into the game. Did a really good job in the middle of the field, helping us to win some balls and deal with the duels. Overall, with the ball, we were subpar. Whether it was decision making on the ball, poor hold up play, we just didn't get enough out of our attack on the evening to be able to put them under a little bit more pressure on a consistent basis. So on a night where we weren't good with the ball, I think it's good that we were able to defend in a strong way and see out the game to make sure we get a point.
We'll get to questions starting with you, Pat Brennan.
Pat, I think under most circumstances, you take a draw in this venue against this team, particularly how they are this year. Does the playoff situation change how you frame that in your mind or view the outcome at all?
Not really. I think on the road, it's still good to get a point. We have to think of it in those terms where when you're not playing your best, despite being up early, it's still a good point. If we take care of our results at home and can, sneak a result on the road, I think it positions us well. So certainly we know we need to take care of our matches at home, but it's still important to get points on the road at this stage to keep us in the mix.
Yeah, I should have asked you this up front, but I'm trying to tee you up or anything, but the decision for PK, did you have a problem with that?
I've looked at it, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think you have to look at the particular play and say, is it clear and obvious? And, I could go either way. Again, if that happened on the other side and we were able to get a penalty, I think it's one that could go either way, to be quite honest, because, the player's going to ground. I don't think he really takes him down, but, we get a piece of him. And so it's unfortunate, but, that was the disappointing part is that was really the difference. And, it feels unfair in that regard. Again, they had some chances, we had some half chances, but it's just a tough situation as far as maybe losing a little bit of momentum with the goal lead and how we conceded.
And it's probably fair to say on a night when Lucho, Brandon, Brenner maybe labored to find a foothold in this match. Do you think that was a concerted effort by New York to kind of lock down on them, take them out of the match, or did they just individually struggle themselves to get into it?
Combination, certainly, because I think there was moments where when it came to some duels and being stronger and holding the ball up, I thought their back line did a really good job of making life difficult for our front three. But then there were some moments where we found some space and we were able to get those guys on the ball with the opportunity to move us forward. And then in those moments, I thought whether it was, poor pass, poor decision, poor, technically, we let ourselves down in those ways as well. So I think it was a combination on the evening that certainly, frustrated our attack.
All right, we'll go to the Zoom now. Laurel Failer.
Thank you. When Obi picked up the yellow card, with that making him unavailable next weekend, how did that impact your thinking with your subs? Did you feel like you needed to get Junior out at that point to make sure you've got one of those starting defensive midfielders, or did you consider taking Lucho out? I'm just kind of wondering how you prioritize those kind of situations.
No, I mean, Obi was going to see out the game regardless of the yellow and regardless of his availability for next weekend. The Junior was just to get some fresh legs and see if we could get Yuya in positions to break some pressure with a team that really runs to the ball in a direct way. Could he be the one to kind of break open a player to going to goal with his quality with the ball? And then it was a combination too of just where Junior's been in terms of his recovery. we were looking at guys that we thought with fatigue setting in, we would want to make some changes. But yeah, that didn't have to do with the yellow card with the move with, taking Junior off.
And then what was it like to see Matt Miazga score in his old home? And then also he seemed to be pointing at his hamstring on the broadcast as he came off. Was he dealing with some tightness, or was that the plan to take him out at that point, just managing his workload?
No, the plan wasn't to take him out because I thought he looked really strong, but he was tightening up, so it was more precautionary in making that change. So I think he knows his body and knows where he's at physically, and certainly wants to be available in this stretch run. So just a precautionary move.
What about his goal? Can you tell us a little bit just what that was for him? What did that mean for him? Could you tell?
You could tell it was, that meant a lot, obviously, being at his former club, and some off the field stuff, which you might have seen from the celebration. It was more, you see an asset on set pieces, and he did a good job to attack that wide free kick and get it on frame. So it just gives us another weapon on those set pieces, and another way to, score goals, on a night where we weren't sharp in the run of play. He provided an important goal for us.
Thank you.
One more, Laurel, or are you good?